welcome to About Last Night. My name's EJ Marino, and this is the show where I talk about the movie I saw last night. In this episode, it's gonna be super fun. Yep, I have a big smile on my face. I am unbroken from Pacific Rim. Yes, this is my review of the new film Blockers. I would do anything for love. So jumping right into the review, Blockers is laugh out loud funny. Yes, I said it, I love this movie. It made me laugh out loud a lot. There's a couple of those like chuckle jokes or those like groan, oh boy jokes, but no, I like physically cannot hold the laughter in because some of the jokes and some of the segments were so damn great. I had a blast watching Blockers, and I am so refreshed from that because like a big studio comedy that's like raunchy, it could definitely not be that great, and I'm so happy to say that I think Blockers is very entertaining, and I think you would love it. This generation finally has their own American Pie. Yes, I have dubbed Blockers like the Millennial American Pie because this really reminds me of like the humor that was in American Pie, but also that little bit of like soul that was in American Pie, because that's the big difference between some of those like other raunchy comedies and then a movie like Blockers, is there's a heart and soul within the middle of the movie. Yes, there's gross out gags and some like inappropriate jokes, but in all of that, there's oh, like that's, oh, you're so real. I like that.
The prettiest girl in all of prom, Kayla Mann.
Let me dive into that American Pie comparison a tiny bit more. In the late 90s, teen like raunchy comedies, or just teen comedies in general, were so popular. You had everything from Cool Intentions, She's All That, Can't Hardly Wait. Then you had other ones like American Pie, and how we even go back a little bit to the 80s, and there was movies like Porky's and things. So these kind of like raunchy teen comedies are nothing new, but in the late 90s, they were everywhere, with American Pie to me being the peak of all of that. I think Blockers is going to be the peak, or at least the first rise of these new teen raunchy comedies, because we've had teen movies this year. I mean, like late last year we had Lady Bird, earlier this year we had like a movie like Love, Simon, so we do have teen movies, but what Blockers is doing for the teen movie genre is really just breathing new life into it, showing that you can actually be a little bit more self-aware, or a little bit more politically minded, or not even politically minded, let's not get into that, or a little bit more socially conscious, and still deliver these movies. I wouldn't go as far in being like this is a politically correct or like a feminist teen raunchy movie. I would not go that far, honestly. It's fine, it's great, it has some social consciousness to it, but I would not go as far as that because I really feel like that diminishes the actual great work that everyone does. Like, I love the three girls in this movie. I think oh my god, they're so funny, with one of them being my favorite. I'll break her down in a little bit when I talk about the rest of the cast. But the adults, especially the two male leads, Ike Barinholtz, I think his name is, and John Cena, really own their own roles. Hell, I'll even give the teen boys that the girls are trying to get laid by, they're actually pretty funny and actually have some great characters as well. And none of them were gross, skeevy, like, I want to have sex with you tonight. The girls were a little bit more aggressive. So that's where I think this like feminist spin is getting to this movie, because like the girls were the more advanced one. The girls knew what they wanted to do, and that's rare, because if you go back to like an American Pie, it was all about the boys and wanting what they wanted to do and blah blah blah. I like seeing that the girls are being like, no, we're gonna get laid. I even heard someone be like, well, this isn't realistic. Girls don't speak like this. Oh my god, girls are filthier than boys some of the times. Like, this movie felt accurate to that millennial or to that younger demographic, where I feel a lot of these movies are either patronizing or I'm like, have you ever met a teenager? Because this is not how they are. No, this is how teenagers are. So good job, Blockers, for actually depicting teens appropriately. What really makes this movie for me is the characters and the actors portraying them. I'm not saying I hate the direction or I hate the cinematography or the script. I think the script's solid. I think the direction is great. Yeah, the plot is a little like the girls make the sex pact, the parents try to block them. That's simple. But what really shines is the characters, especially the three girls, which is Sam, Kayla, and Julie. I loved those three so much. It felt like I was hanging out with girls I know, and that's so refreshing to see. My favorite being Kayla, who legit made me like laugh out loud. If I was drinking something, I would have done a spit take. That's how funny she was. She had jokes left and right, and I loved seeing what she had to do as a comedian, I think she is one to look out for. Julie and Sam were cute girls, I had no problem with them, but to me, Kayla, this is her movie. Some of the jokes, like when the guy was just like, we'll see where the night takes us, she's like, yeah, the night's taking your dick inside of me, and I was just like, girl, yes. She just had, it felt like they were allowing her to riff and just improv and have a great time. Hell, the whole cast seemed like they had a great time. So this movie has a couple scenes that are just laugh out loud funny. To me, they are when they're trying to figure out the emoji, the sex pack scene, and they're talking about emojis. Oh my god, Cena was so great in that. Then you also have when everyone's throwing up in the limos and then they're throwing up in the car. Really great. Like, those usually gross out poop jokes or throw up jokes don't usually work on me, but for some reason this one got me. I don't know if I was just in the mood for something filthy like that, but I loved it. Kay Cannon is the director of this. This is her feature film debut, and I'm so happy to say I cannot wait to see another Kay Cannon movie. She wrote the 3 Pitch Perfect movies. I have my feelings on those, but I always thought they had something in there that I like. She is what I liked. Her direction, and I can just feel her like touch in those Pitch Perfect movies was all over Blockers, and girl, I cannot wait to see your future. You are going to be a female comedian director that people will be calling up after this movie. Please, I hope this makes money because she deserves it. So to sum everything up, you should go see Blockers. I think this movie is very, very, very entertaining. I usually, for these kind of comedies, I say we should have a little smoke before, maybe a couple drinks. No, go into this because this will like give you a natural high because you will be laughing so much. Definitely go see this movie. Let me know what you thought of this movie if you've seen it already, or if you're going to see it, let me know things down below. We'll talk about it in the comments. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of About Last Night. My name's EJ Marino, and it means the world that you tuned in. Please give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy this review. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because I make videos like this every single week. And leave me a comment. Those are what I care about the most. I'm not like most YouTubers where I'm like, I don't read the comments, I don't have time. I will read everything from the homophobic slurs to the compliments. I will read them all. So leave them down below and I will answer for all of you guys. And thank you again for tuning in to About Last Night.